Hi guys, it's Di from BeingMommywithStyle, and today I wanted to do a resort recap, and specifically I wanted to focus on the moderates for this video because we have stated all the enclosed resort moderates, and so I'll kind of say what that means in just a second. But I have my list here, the official Disney list of all the different values and moderates, and then I'm going to talk about deluxe at the very end. But for the values, we've stayed at All-Star Music at this point. We've stayed at All-Star Movies. We really like that one. Art of Animation, and that is it out of those. There's also Pop, which we have not stayed at yet. I know a lot of you guys are fans, and All-Star Sports. So we feel like we have a really good sense of All-Stars, and we will stay at sports at some time, but I really think that movies is like our jam. And then Pop Century, I know a lot of you guys like it. We will definitely try it out, but I feel like there's other better fits for us, like Art of Animation with the different animation is like Zoom, right up our alley. So, and then there's the campsites of Fort Wilderness, which we're going to talk about Fort Wilderness in just a second. Moderate, there's Disney's Caribbean Beach, which was one of our first trips where we started staying on site. And then there's Coronado Springs, which we just stayed at this past trip, and we've stayed at before. There's Port Orleans, French Quarter, and there's Port Orleans, Riverside. Now, there's also the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and Fort Wilderness is really not at the top of my list. I don't think that we will stay there until the kids are older. So then when you go to the deluxe, there's Fort Wilderness Lodge. So the cabins, I really envision us probably staying there maybe when the kids are teenagers. They can use the golf carts, and it's just a little bit different trip. So for me, I think for families in our kind of like situation, I think that either Fort Wilderness, both camping, the cabins, and the lodge, it's really either going to speak to you or it's not. And for us, I think we would maybe try the lodge first and then maybe try the cabins when they're older. But for now, out of all of the like basically resort enclosed, I don't know what else to call it, moderates, we've stayed at all those that really have a similar feel, to be honest with you, but different theming, and it makes the overall vibe different. So let me explain this because I really want to deep dive into the moderates here. So there's Caribbean Beach. Everything that everyone says about Caribbean Beach is true. Right now it's really under construction, so I would also kind of factor that in, but that'll be done soon enough. So the thing about Caribbean Beach is it's huge. It's big. So that's not the biggest deal until you've walked for like 8 hours that day across theme parks. And then, you know, they have the different bus stops all the way around, but if you're waiting on a bus and you're tired and then you have got to walk through this big resort to go get dinner at your resort or go to the pool or whatever, it's a factor. It really is. So it's a big resort. Coronado Springs is great. This was a longer stay for us. The pool area is very, very beautiful. Very much feels like a convention resort. Also very big and spread out. Now where we were, and I think we were in building 8, we were kind of in this building, and then there was the pool and then the water, and there was some bridges that connected right over to where the food area was. We were literally in the perfect location. If you ever can like just request your location there, I would stay right by the pool. It was very, very convenient because you're really close to everything. You're close to the pool, you're close to the food and all that. So a big resort, but I think there's, you know, ways around that. There's also the preferred rooms at Caribbean Beach. So if we ever stay there again, we're going to be in the preferred rooms, but we're going to wait till the construction's done. Then there's Port Orleans French Quarter and Port Orleans Riverside. So it makes a lot of sense after you stay at both of them, but I think hopefully you can tell in the videos too. The boat to go to Disney Springs is very convenient for both of those. Really, really like the boat access. It's just kind of, I don't know, like so relaxing just to go hop on a boat and go over to Disney Springs and walk around for the evening and take the boat back. It's a really neat element added to the trip. Riverside was very, very pretty. We stayed there last year for Disney Social Media Moms. We were in the Bayou rooms, I believe, and it had like a fishing vibe. And it's not as much our vibe, if you know what I mean. Like the Royal rooms are on our list to try at some point. We're just a little bit different vibe from that. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with what our preference is or what someone's preference maybe that would love that, be right up their alley. We just prefer a different vibe. So that being said, we got over to French Quarter and I loved it. I really loved it. It was a small resort. It was very closed in on itself. Literally, I don't think you could really get a room there that was really far away from anything. But where we were, again, right by the pool, super convenient, right next to the pool, right near the food area. I would definitely stay there for a longer period of time. The theme was like a Mardi Gras theme, which obviously if you're from Louisiana, you're probably not gonna like love that because it's not probably that different from what you're used to, but it was really kind of neat for someone that's never been a lot around that. You know, I've never been to New Orleans, we'll put it that way. It was just kind of a neat, different like theme to like have. So out of all of them, Caribbean Beach really spoke to me. I liked the vibe, but it was really big and spread out. My husband's not a huge fan of that one, to be honest. Coronado Springs I like, but it feels very conference-y because it's got the convention center there and it's also big and spread out. So if I was going to a conference, stay there, great. I don't know that I would pick it for my vacation necessarily. It just feels like a conference hotel to me. I don't know why. So that brings me to Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. Really like both of them. I think if we stay at Riverside again, we would try a royal room or one of the rooms on the other side. We'd try to request a different area and see how that worked. That being said, the bus situation we felt like was better at French Quarter because there was only the one, you know, like bus stop. We tend to like that better than the multiple stops around. My husband really likes all-star movies. So that being said, out of what we have left, Fort Wilderness, I'm kind of like including that as a different thing because it's just so different. Like I feel like if I'm gonna rent a cabin, I'm probably gonna go to Gatlinburg, just to be 100% honest. It's just really not gonna be at the top of my list to stay there. So in my mind, all the resorts that I've stayed at that are similar in the moderate category, I've checked them all off. So moving on, that leaves the deluxe category. And we've talked about this before. Animal Kingdom Lodge, Beach Club, Polynesian, probably the top of my list for where I would like to stay. And it really kind of depends on what kind of trip we're planning on having. I do see us starting to have more resort-oriented trips. And so what that means is like a trip when we're staying at All Stars, we're in the parks the majority of the day. Really, we might swim like one night, the whole night we're there, but we're not in the pool a lot. Whereas if I book a trip at the Polynesian, I see us being in the pool a lot. It's going to be at a time when we're going to be in the pool a lot. Or Beach Club, they have a fabulous pool. Like we would need to be in that pool every single day. And they got that great beach area and it's right next to the boardwalk. You can walk around. I feel like they would be a lot more resort oriented trips. And as the kids get older, I feel like we're going to go to that. So if those of you that are out there that go to Disney regularly, you know kind of what I mean. But it's as they get older and, you know, we kind of phase out of wanting to do this like sun up, sundown type of in the theme park trip. I see that's what we're gonna go to. And then I also see when we go to that kind of trip, we might start adding on park hoppers. Whereas before it'd be one park, do everything we wanna do one day. And so when we go to these more leisurely resort-oriented trips, I might get a 3-day park hopper and we just, you know, ride what we wanna ride in Magic Kingdom, go to Epcot for dinner and go watch fireworks in Hollywood Studios. And just it's really kind of a compilation of like our favorite parts. So that's kind of how I feel things are going to start going as they get older. That being said, we'll probably have 1 or 2 more like heavily theme park oriented days. But the kids are getting older and they did a really great job at selling Alani and Adventures by Disney on this trip. They have my interest peaked, we'll put it that way. So I feel like as we you know, go forwards, we're gonna be mixing it up a little bit. But I'm kind of getting off topic because I wanted this video to be more about like resort review at Walt Disney World and specifically the moderates, since we've kind of, in my mind, kind of cleared out that category, all of them that we would stay at except for the cabins. Like I said, that would be an older one. So my favorite was French Quarter. I liked that it was small and kind of felt intimate and was closed in on itself. I liked the boats. I think my husband's favorite was, I'd have to get him in here. He liked the pool at Coronado Springs, but I believe he liked Riverside the best. So I just texted Dan to see which one was his favorite, and I said, which one was your favorite moderate? He said, All-Star Movies. This is his favorite, hands down. So that's his favorite value. I gave him the list of moderates to choose from, so we'll see if he picks ones. But All-Star Movies, I think, really spoke to everyone because it had the big characters, but it seemed really easy to get around. I liked Art of Animation a lot. I don't know why he didn't answer that one. So I'll have to ask him why he didn't like that one. But I liked how it played the music underwater and that sort of thing. If I had to pick one favorite overall, I think Art of Animation would probably be it. I really like their food court area, and just the whole vibe there was really fun. But I'd say moderate level favorite, probably French Quarter was the easiest because it was just so small. I mean, it was the easiest to get around, the easiest to get to everything, great transportation. It was really the easiest to stay at, to be honest with you. And Riverside and French Quarter are both beautiful. I do prefer like a pool that isn't so in your face. Or has like a little bit more like beachy theme or like pirate boat theme at Beach Club. So the pool theme wouldn't be my number one at French Quarter, but just as far as the ease of the resort, I would pick that hands down every single time over the pool theme. He said, oh, I can't even make this up, guys. So I said, which one did you say was your favorite moderate level? He said, All-Star Movies. I said, that's a value. I'll mention that. But which was your favorite moderate? And I gave him a list: Caribbean Beach, Riverside, French Quarter, Coronado Springs. He replied, Art of Animation. So we'll just say my husband's top two are All-Star Movies and Art of Animation. So those were the two that were up his alley. So I think he's not really a fan of the ones that have the multiple bus stops, which would be basically Caribbean Beach, the Riverside, and Coronado Springs. So that really rules out the majority of the moderate category. So I'm going to see if I can get him in here actually to do a Dan's Disney Tips video, because that'd be fun. And I'm going to wrap it up for this resort kind of recap review. Let me know if you have any questions down below, but I'm excited. In case you guys haven't noticed, it's a goal of mine we've almost eaten at every single character meal. It's just kind of the more obscure or harder ones to get on the schedule. Like Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, they only do like a couple days a week, and our trips never line up to do it because like it's only like on Thursdays or something random, and like we were getting on the cruise ship anytime they were going to have one on this past trip, and it just has not lined up yet for us to do that. So that's one we have not done yet, but we've done like 90+% of the character meals. So I want to get those kind of last couple ones, maybe go over to Garden Grove and that sort of thing to kind of get the last few checked off. But then it's really a goal of mine to stay at as many of the resorts as possible too. And then, you know, I just feel like it's easier for me to kind of give my opinion to you guys about what we like and that sort of thing when we've tried as many of the things as possible. So that's kind of the goal there, and that's why we keep staying different places, trying different things. I always really like to, if we come in and we have like an odd trip booking, we can stay one place and then try two different resorts on one trip. I don't mind the split stays so much. At first I thought it was going to bother me, but I don't really mind it that much. So it works for now. But when we do future trips, you know, it will just really depend on whether it's a party trip, we're planning on going to party times, or you know, what type of trip we're really wanting, a more theme park oriented trip or resort trip. So I'm gonna leave that like that because I'm starting to lose my voice, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the trips videos. I will have a couple more recaps, and then I guess back to real life, right? That's what you gotta do after you come back from Disney. So that is that. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a great day.